Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing today? This is Papa Snow coming to you live and direct out of Guyana. Okay? It's a beautiful day out here today. And today, we are going to be addressing something very, very important. We were actually waiting on a new government to take over so that we could actually proceed with a very important legal matter, okay? A matter that started in 2018, and we are about to go ahead and bring closure to this matter as fast as possible so that we can make sure that landowners in Land of Canaan can finally get to their properties and we can proceed with the project that we started in 2018. Okay? Now, for those of you who are not familiar with what it is that I am talking about, I'm going to explain it to you in some detail before we leave and we proceed on the course that we are taking today. Okay? First, let me start by saying good morning to all of our network members. Okay, good morning to all the persons that are in charge of offices and JFWW network services globally. Okay, good morning to everyone that is participating in the multiple programs that we currently have going on worldwide. Okay, let me just state that first and foremost. Okay, next, let me start by saying that I am very happy that the government has been handed over and there are now new people running the show. I'm very happy that sanctions would have already hit Lands and Survey, even though last year a lot of you would have noticed that a lot of other people would have gotten terminated from Lands and Survey. There's still much that needs to be done at Lands and Survey because that is the hub for all land issues here in Guyana in terms of, defining boundaries, defining roadways, what's government, what's private, all of these other little things that people don't normally pay attention to until you actually need to get your job done. And that's when you tend to find out how hard, how miserable, and how despicable, right, service in Guyana can be when it comes to expecting people to do their jobs without any personal or political affiliations attached. That seems to be very, very hard for Guyanese to do. Very hard to keep things straight when there's no personal or political affiliations. I wish it was different. But it is what it is. This is the case. Now, today, like I said, I've been waiting for a very long time for this particular day, okay? Because this is the day that we continue to push forward with all of the circumstances that held us back from the last administration. And I am a person, when I speak, I like to speak with valid proof and indication of everything that we are currently doing. I do not like to speak without proof. And the reason being is because there are times when you're going to hear a lot of things and it's not particularly correct. And the persons who say these things, they can't put some proof behind it. We've seen it in the media. We've seen it with our politicians. We've seen it with family, friends, and loved ones. We've seen it with business associates and colleagues. We've already seen this. Okay? Now, last year, before the whole elections drama and COVID drama stepped in, I was in the process, and I have here with me today this letter from Lands and Survey. I was actually in the process of rectifying this particular issue here. And this issue that I'm showing you here is an issue which deals with trespassing. Okay? And you would notice at the top of this letter here, it says 1 year follow-up a 1-year follow-up in regards to our emergency intervention request. Now, I want you to understand something really, really fast. This is a 1-year follow-up on an emergency request. The word emergency is a very important word, because this is to show that this particular office, Lands and Survey, this is signed by Trevor Ben too, right? Look at the signature right there. I know it looks a little backwards, right? But this is the signature. That's Mr. Ben's official signature right there. I want you to see, okay? There's a reason why I want you to see. Because it took 1 whole year for Lands and Survey to do a follow-up on an emergency. Why? Why did it take a year? Why did it take 1 year on an emergency follow-up? It's real simple. Corruption. Okay? Corruption. Right? And if I didn't have money, and I didn't have time, and I didn't have resources to push into this, I would have never gotten to the bottom of this. I would have never found out who the real bad guys were and how many people were involved. And you will be surprised as hell to find out how many people were involved. You will be surprised at how sneaky, how scandalous, how deceitful, how conniving all of these people in this world can actually be. You'll be surprised. Right? And unfortunately, I've had to adapt in order to catch them. But we caught them. Okay? We caught them. At the same time, these persons was attempting to fraud me for basically, what, about 2.1 billion Guyana dollars. Not an easy amount of money. Because that is what my inheritance sums up to. $2.1 billion. Right? Anyway, I'm just going to read out this official letter to you before we leave and we go on the road and we start visiting all of these people. And it states, Dear Mr. Snow, response to a 1-year follow-up in regards to our emergency intervention request. And this was in December of 2019. After great pressure and meant much work and cutting off all of their lies and their deceit from every angle that they could have possibly thrown it with valid proof. Oh, by the way, I have proof, right? Make sure I let people know I have proof, I have evidence. Right? And it's stated, thank you for your letter dated October 22nd, 2019 on the captioned subject. The Commission has conducted a preliminary investigation into your matter, which has revealed that the portion of land is held for the purpose of government reserve for access and drainage. Please note that in keeping with the Guyana Lands and Survey Commissions Act 5905, it is unlawful for persons to occupy state and government reserve lands or portions thereof. Reserves have been set aside for public interest and not for individual use and benefit. The Commission will seek to schedule a follow-up site visit during the week of the 23rd of December 2019 to meet with the parties involved to further address the matter. By copy of this letter, the Senior Land Administration Officer of Region 4 would facilitate the visit on the Commission's behalf. That person is a Mr. Lyndon Gray, who is the Senior Land Administration Officer of Region 4. He also has a manager by the name of Ms. Joelle Cheong, who is the manager for the Land Administration Office at Lands and Survey. Neither of these two individuals that were just mentioned has made any attempt to do their damn job, and Mr. Trevor Ben has made no attempt to even reprimand them for not doing their job. Okay? The access way in which we are speaking about here is the roadways that lead to a housing scheme that we are currently building. Those roadways have been blocked by an individual who has some money and who has a lot of contacts. That individual's name is Premnath Mohan Lal. He is on the list of shareholders and stakeholders for the Hyde Park Zoo and Tropical Gardens Reserve, or Sanctuary, whatever they would like to call it, which is directly adjacent to where we are building our low-income housing scheme. This individual has erected a fence after we had invested over $30 million on our roadway, on what? I can't even say our, on the government roadway, in order to block us off and slow down the work that we had going on in terms of building our community. I'm once again here to tell Mr. Premnath Mohan Lal, sir, you are illegally placed. The last government, because you had friends, had slowed down the persecution and the prosecution of this particular document here, which means you had bought yourself a great deal of time. And sir, within buying yourself all of that time, you had called your friends at the police department through your wife. You said I tried to threaten you. You said many, many things, right? When you called the crime chief and you had him call me into the station and harass me and threaten me, right? With talks of jail and all of this. But sir, I know one thing. One thing that is very, very relevant that I know. And it's the same thing your politicians know. It's called the law. Okay? It's called the law. And I know no matter what lie you throw against me, once I got the solid evidence and backup in case anything happened to me, sir. Okay, let me put this out there. Okay? That shit ain't gonna fly. Okay? And we also have all of the backup documents connected to every single bit of business, both legal and illegal, that you have done. I am still looking for a peaceful mediation to this circumstance. One in which we can all benefit, sir. I like having a zoo next door to my housing scheme. Do not get it twisted. I think it takes up the value of my place significantly. What I don't like is people attempting to steal government lands and using their contacts to do so, and in the process of doing so, you are depriving rightful land owners of their property. You have caused me millions upon millions in financial damages, which you will have to replace. But I believe that there's a way to replace this. You can do it the easy way. I can sue you for every scontold thing you ever have, what your children have, what your family have, what your friends have, and anyone else who is associated in those documents as a stakeholder. Because the crime has now been committed by the company and not just you as an individual, sir. Do you know what that means? That means it's all of you I take into court. It's all of you I sue it. The company for its assets. You for personal damages. Your wife for false accusation. And your children for benefiting from the crime. That is a crime in itself, sir. My advice to you, sir, please pay me back for my damages, move your fence, and allow us to continue building our stuff. Oh yeah, and because my birthday passed, you gotta put something a little extra in this scunt, right? And for the time that you cause us to waste, you gotta put something extra in there. Because the amount of lawsuits you're about to face, we're gonna pull your damn visas, your passport, everything, and get blacklisted. You ain't traveling out to this country. And you ain't gonna have time because COVID ain't gonna let you fly out either, so you can't run away. Unless you feel you're running away by boat to Suriname, or you're somehow getting into Brazil or Venezuela. And good luck with that if you go over there. COVID waiting for you. Right? In a big way. Right? Now, let me tell everybody. Ladies and gentlemen. This here that I have in front of me is our permission from housing. This gives us full permission to build our housing scheme because we have met all of the legal requirements in order to do so. Right? Just letting you know, we have copies of this, and if anyone with a legal mind would like to go through this document or would like to go through anything in which we are doing, there's nothing that I am doing that is behind the scenes or not transparent. Okay? I represent the interests of thousands of Guyanese people. And I've represented their interests for years. Okay? Realistically, I'm a rich young man. Unfortunately, due to all of the corruption, my finances have been tied because of these individuals. All of this, ladies and gentlemen, is how these corrupted politicians keep control of a country. Any entrepreneur who is not aligned with them, they systematically destroy them. They financially attack you, they attack your credibility, they attack your welfare, they attack your freedom, they attack your safety, they attack your mental security. Their job is to break you with pressure. Almost worked. But one thing you did not calculate for, as you try to break a diamond with pressure, you just make it stronger. You tried to melt the steel in the fire, instead you tempered the sword, so it is now harder than you ever believed. You have refined me to become what it is I am now. That is not an easygoing person. That is not a person that will allow you to legally get away with these crimes. From Mr. Ben to everybody who is involved in this circumstance that I found to be such a negative circumstance has actually become a very positive assistance to the country. Because through our investigations, we have uncovered hundreds of corrupted government officials and persons who have been systematically working against democracy here in Guyana. We have built enough evidence on each of them in a variety of areas to make sure that if they don't go to jail for one thing, they're gonna go to jail for the next. I've stated this before. I don't want to see people in jail. Our prisons are already overpacked. There's too much nonsense going on in there. And unlike many people, I am not out to destroy anybody's life. I would just like to live my own and allow the residents in those areas to live a peaceful and productive life. This is a fact. Persons at the NDC, Mr. Lal, that you felt that you had in your pocket, they have all betrayed you, and they have signed evidence against you. persons in housing that you feel, Mr. Lal, that your money had bought, they have already signed evidence against you. The only place you had left protecting you, sir, was lands and survey. Oh, by the way, your contacts at EPA, they're dead too, sir. Because ain't nobody want to go to jail for your stuff. And jail facing plenty people. Okay? Let me just put this out there. The same jail you wanted to put innocent people in is the same jail facing all of them. And it's the same jail that's going to be facing you. Okay? However, first, I'm going to proceed with it down the line of mitigation. If mitigation cannot bear the results that we are looking for, sir, then we will continue to push forward through the court. Please be advised, your money will not buy time. Because anybody who accepts your money, we're putting them in prison. They will know that anything dealing with you, sir, is cooties. You know, kids used to say the term cooties, right? It means it's cooties. Nobody wants cooties. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be connected to someone that's going to more than likely have all of them investigated deeper or have them put in prison as part of a conspiracy in land fraud, sir. Okay? Please understand that I'm holding all of the evidence. Please understand that my lawyer has all of the evidence. Please understand that network members have the evidence. Please understand that each of the residents of that community holds the evidence in their hand, and each, if not all of us, will be filing legal actions against you. So congratulations. That's 149 properties in that piece. That's 149 court cases you're about to go through. And don't worry, we ain't gonna do it all as one, you know. Because all as one is too easy. They're gonna come at different intervals to make sure that every time you gotta deal with this case, your lawyer gonna get rich off of you. Or every time you gotta pay a bribe, okay, somebody in the court gonna take money from you only to have to do it next week again. Because guess what, sir? You have a lot of legal issues. Okay? Do not feel that knowing people in the DPP or knowing anybody is going to save you, because I have crossed my T's and dot my I's before I proceeded down this course. There's only one peaceful solution left for you, sir, that does not involve prison. Okay? And I'm going to tell you this very nicely. I ain't lying. I'm watching you dead in your face. I'm watching all your corrupted friends dead in their face, and I telling them straight, move your illegal obstruction off of the reserve roadway and repay us for the time that you have caused us to lose. Alright? Because I guarantee it's not going to work out the way you expected. You can still keep your zoo. Whatever corrupted shit you got going on, I don't want no part of that. But sir, I am doing a legal business. And your illegal activities should not interfere with my legal business. Especially one that is directed toward a humanitarian effort. So I'm letting you know, I played stupid for long enough. I don't want to legally get rid of you, sir. I would still like you to keep whatever money you got, however you got it. I would still like peace. I never break war with you, sir. But you have started it with me. Accept your mistake. Fix your mistake. Everyone deserves a second chance. Fix it. Please. Don't make me have to keep going down this road. Because if I have to keep going down this road, sir, I'm taking you for everything you got, my buddy. I'm taking you for every single thing you got, my buddy. Okay? Let me just let you know this. I will take you for everything you have. That includes your places in Canada, any fancy home you got in New York. That includes your property at Bel Air. That includes even your lawyer's property, because if I'm correct, he's also listed as a shareholder. So I think that's lot 5 and lot 6, Bel Air, right? Sounds like a nice location. I don't mind adding more property to my real estate portfolio, sir. I just thought it was going to be in land of Canaan. I didn't know it might be in Georgetown. I didn't know I would have got new property in New York, and I didn't know I would have got new property in Canada. Right? And that pipe you got running underneath the road, draining into my uncle land, well, he and you going to be talking about that soon enough. Because the bottom line is, for years, my father and his brothers were fighting. I am the one who has ended their fights. And they had a 30-year fight, and I ended their fight. I took the blunt of it. I took all of the headache from the family problems, and I fight through it. And I brought balance and peace to the family. I shall bring balance and peace to the land of Canaan very shortly, sir. I have been fighting harder battles than you since I was 19. You're but a speed bump. Nothing else. Nothing more. A man who had a little money, a little power, a man who get chased out to Hog Island because of your environmental disasters that you have been creating with your pig farm, a man who exports animals, some of which may or may not be endangered species, much less any other activity that may go unbeknown to the government, but known to others. Sir, you pick a fight with the devil, sir. You ain't winning this one. But I'm one of God's devils, because the devil was an angel. I'm only a devil to the wicked, because I can make you punish, sir. I don't want to, but I can do it. And you have forced my hand. Don't you see from the beginning all I want is peace? And you do not want to allow me peace? You wish, you're feeling that your money could buy everything. Money don't buy loyalty. And yes, under some circumstances, money does buy the law. But right now, the amount of people that are going to be watching this issue, sir, and asking questions about this issue, money, you ain't got money for buy all of it. Let me put this out there. You don't have the money to buy all of us. And understand, until this matter is resolved, it's going to be everywhere. And it is going to haunt you. Okay? And you will experience a feeling that I feel only I have known in the past. Except you will experience it for the right cause. Okay? You have caused women and children, fatherless children, to be without a home. People who have lost their parents. People who are single parents. You have caused them to not be in their own property at this moment. Are you not ashamed, sir? You don't have to be ashamed anymore. Because if it be the case that you are not ashamed, This evidence here, just these, nothing more. I don't even need the rest yet, but I got the rest. Are going to put you in prison. If not, it's going to take you to the poorhouse. And you don't look like you can live an uncomfortable life. Your family doesn't look like they're ready for an uncomfortable life. My only request is that you back off and you pay us back for the damages that you have caused, and we will go forward. Please be known, other persons who have blocked other roadways have already been served. Any squatters on any government access road that is leading to our housing scheme or anything hindering us, they have been served legally. You, sir, shall be served legally very shortly. If not just served, you may also be taken into custody, and charges are going to be filed against you. So, sir, long time done, short time left. Don't be the foolish man who depends upon his riches to save his soul. Do the right thing. Because by the time you realize how much evidence and information I got on you, not just from this, but from everything else, you got a weak hand, sir. I calling you bluff. Because I know what I sitting with. Okay? Poker expression. So we can play this hand. And we can see how it play out. And in the interest of transparency, we're going live as we go to all of these offices, because I think it's only fair that the population gets to see how much these offices have changed since the new government has taken over. I'm also visiting a majority of the ministries today. And I'm going to take all of you with me on this run. Because up until this particular point, there's a lot about me that has not been shown. There's a lot of my capacity that has not been revealed. But I'm a very funny person, sir. When I set my mind to do something, I get it done. Okay? So understand that, once again, I'll tell you, because I'm still begging for peace. I don't have to. I could be begging to put you in prison. But I'm still begging for peace. Peace is necessary. The amount of headache that you have caused for me, sir, the average man would not tolerate. He would have done come and kick down your door. However, I know that you were attempting to frustrate me because you thought you had me read. You listened to the rumors and you thought that I was an ignorant, angry young man who was very uncalculated. And you expected that if you frustrated me enough, that I would do something and you would be able to lock me up. And you would have been a winner, huh? You would have been a winner, huh, sir? But what you did not learn is, just like my God, just like my King Jesus, I had to carry my torch, a stake, to save my soul. Even though Jesus could have destroyed all of them like this, he had to carry that weight so that the people would see that he was suffering for them, sir. Hey, Tulsi, hey, everybody. So, sir, Once again, I'm just showing you some of the evidence. I'm showing the world the evidence. I don't want anybody feel that I am talking without just cause, that I am talking without legal authority. Watch, sign off. CHPA, Central Housing and Planning, sign off. Sign off. Lands and Survey. I got other documents, sign off. I got my transports for my property. I got my documents in the court. All of my things are 199% on point. And let me state this clearly. There's no way, no corrupted, screwed up, thieving, Indian or black man robbing me skunt when I got all 6 race in me. Okay? Let me put that out there. Let me put that out there. Even to my personal court matter, handled by AFC new people, throw me skunt in prison wrongfully, try for teeth my land behind my back. Plenty hands at play here. Plenty hands at play here. Everybody use it to their advantage, huh? Just remember one thing, sir. Once bitten, twice shy. Fool me once, shame on you. You ain't fooling me twice. You have awoken a sleeping lion. Should have never do the skunt. Because this lion wake up crass. Right? But I still asking for peace. And I still asking for justice. It is only when those things fail you that absolute anarchy shall follow. Okay? The battle that I am embarking in, ladies and gentlemen, I might not be able to keep family, friends, and loved ones around me. I may have to sacrifice everything that is normal in my life just to protect people. I used to just want to be normal. But some of us just ain't cut out for normalcy. We're meant to be something different. So ladies and gentlemen, before I embark on this today and take you guys with me on this trip, I would ask each of you to examine yourself, to truly find out what type of creature you are meant to be. As for me, I guess I'm meant to be a judge, to help judge some of these wicked bastards. I guess I'm meant to be an officer, to help investigate these corrupted people. I guess I'm meant to be the executioner. So when all of this is said and done, if justice does not come, it will be taken. But sir, I am very creative. And I look at the very big picture. I can take my revenge today and you don't even feel it until 20 years from now. Maybe I'm dead and gone. But the results of my action shall echo within your life. Is that necessary? Should it go so far? Maybe it has to. But just in case, it does, understand that you will not be happy. You will not enjoy anything. Live you shall, but in misery and not comfort. as well as everyone else attached to you. Thank you. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I wish that you are all having a wonderful day. I had one hell of a weekend, right? All sorts of crazy stuff been happening over the weekend. The devil is a busy man. The devil is a busy man. Can't change all of that. And I can't do it correctly without the help and support of the population. So I'm hoping that the people who are watching this realize how important it is for all of you to share this video. Because land fraud has been happening in Guyana for far too long. Many people are affected by it. And there are only a few institutions in which land fraud can actually transpire. And the number one institution for land fraud in Guyana is Lands and Survey. If Lands and Survey is not involved in it, it could not become legal. Because they are the ones that defines boundaries. They're the ones that hand you your approved plan, your surveying plan, so you know where you're there, where you gotta go. They're the ones that you apply if you want lease land, if you want certain things. They're the ones that you apply to. And I'm going to teach every person in Guyana about what goes on in the system. That is what I'm going to do for each of you. Because I have to spend money and run around behind it. At least none of you will have to spend money and run around behind it. Because from watching what I do, you will have a clear and clean understanding as to what you need to do and the processes you need to go through to protect your rights, to protect your property, to protect your investments, to protect your sanity. And you will get to watch me do it live. Please also pay attention to the places that we go when they want me to come off of live. Okay? Because when they don't want me on a live, I understand they ain't want nobody knowing what they doing. They don't want that. Because once you start to shed the light and shine the light on all the little hidden corners, you can start to see all the rat in the corner them who eating the cheese and hoping nobody ain't seeing them. There's plenty of rat. It's time for an extermination. It's time for an extermination. Right? So I am hoping that when we go today, we would have it all on the live, and they will not give me any harassment as it pertains to keeping the live feed rolling. So I'm going to take all of you with me today. I think it's time that we all took a trip, because I think for the last few months you've probably either been talking to me from this location or inside of my office. That's probably a few of the only places. Of course, when we go and we move around. But I haven't had the opportunity to address this until we had that transition. Because as you see, Apnu, with Trevor Ben and everybody else, have been dilly-dallying, delaying, putting things off, buying time, frustrating people. Sambali, I have learned patience. I have learned to allow time to show everything for what it really is. There's more that I wish to say, however, I cannot show the enemy my hand. All I can do is call their bluff and raise the bet. So if they want to stay in this game, they got to. But this is an all or nothing game here. That's what this is. This is an all or nothing game here. So I'm all in. But I know what cards I hold in. I hold in a powerful fucking hand. Right? So I hope they pay attention to this. If not, we will systematically filter out all of the wicked people who are doing their wickedness inside of these offices. So no matter what, you can't stop this. Constitutionally, this is mine. Right? Can't stop this constitutionally. This is being triggered into effectiveness. Do you know what the term inevitable means? It means that no matter what happens, it will come to pass. Okay? It will come to pass. So I'm only warning you now, sir, one more time, one final time. And one final time I'm asking you for peace, because I would personally rather not do all of the running around. My life is too complicated already. I have too many other things that I would prefer to do. But you are not allowing me. So now I need to legally remove you from the equation. So ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to take this trip with me today. But first, I do have a couple young people in my office who I have to help with educational supplies and material. And then we're going on live, and we're gone. And we're going straight to Lands and Survey. That's our first stop for the day. It's going to be Lands and Survey. The next stop is Ministry of Communities. The next stop is Ministry of Education, and so on and so forth, because we have a lot of other things going on at the same time. Okay? So I would like to thank all of you. And once again, I invite all of you to take this journey with me. Thank you very much. Take care. God bless.